What's up, everybody? Well, after recovering from that last video I made on what was supposed to do a full house vacuuming with the Hoover Bagless twin chamber, the Elite style, but that one failed miserably. Today I thought I'd go ahead and redo that video by doing it on the Windtunnel edition. So here I'm bringing you my Hoover Windtunnel Bagless upright with the twin chamber system, which this design was definitely much better than the Elite style. Why? Because this is when Hoover started using bypass motors instead of direct air motors. Basically, the direct air motors or fan first style machines using this bagless system was just terrible from the get-go, because all the dirt that goes through the fan blows into the dustbin, which that can lead to a problem because the top gasket, all the dirt blowing in will like to blow around the top gasket, and it doesn't seal very well, which it will blow around the top of the filter, and most of the dirt will just spew out that top gasket, which that's the main issue I have with it. And they had no secure way of locking those down. I don't know what Hoover was thinking when they designed the Elite with a bagless system. They should have just stuck with bag vacuums. But this one is much better since it has a bypass motor. So that way all the dirt will get pulled in and it won't leak out this top seal. If anything, it'll just suck it shut. And everything will exhaust out a number of filters, which has this big gigantic pre-motor filter, and there's a second pre-motor filter down in the dust cup, and then you can exhaust out this nice big HEPA filter, which you can actually, believe it or not, buy a true HEPA filter and it'll fit right in place, which I highly recommend doing that because it'll really increase the filtration if you suffer from allergies yet want the convenience of a bagless vacuum. So what I did before I get this video started, I cleaned out the entire dustbin, including the filters, so I make sure everything is as clean as possible before I put this thing to use. And without further ado, let's go ahead and get to it. So let's get started. Now, for those of you who had these bagless wind tunnels, you probably don't know this, but when you recline the vacuum, sometimes it doesn't want to recline because there's actually a little mechanical valve that diverts all the suction going from the head of the vacuum to the hose when the vacuum is in its upright position. Sometimes the spring in that valve can kind of get stiff and it won't recline, so just step down on the top of the vacuum to get it out, and the vacuum works just fine as it should. So basically, just step down with your heel and step down on top to recline the vacuum all the way back. Which is not a huge deal, kind of sucks because that spring wears out over time, but let's go ahead and get to cleaning. before we go over the rest of the house cleaning, let's go ahead and analyze the results. As you can see, actually none of the dirt got spewed out, which is a plus. Now, as you can see, there were a lot of heavy particles that stayed on the left side of the bin. A lot of the fine particles definitely got trapped on this little filter screen, which does happen on these. And some of the fine dust will enter the filter side of the bin and get trapped on that big filter. But overall, I will say the performance on this is pretty amazing. Definitely an improvement over the Elite style, being that this has a bypass design motor. So anyway, let's go ahead and move over to the rest of the rooms in the house and see how much dirt we pick up in the end. now that that's all complete, let's go ahead and analyze the final results. So pull that locking tab to slide up the lock and pull this off. Okay, check all that there. Dump it out. Oops, sometimes the filter and screen like to come down with it. Well, luckily it got some of the dirt off the screen, and some of the rest you are going to have to get off by hand. And what you can do to the filter, well actually more so while it's in the vacuum, is twist and it'll pick off some of the dust that the filter may have collected in the process. See that? Now I'm not going to do all that. But that is just how much this thing picked up, which I would say is totally amazing. Definitely a lot better than what the Elite Bagless twin chamber would have picked up. Well, actually, it would have picked that up, but half the time it would have spewed it back into the air you breathe, because the filtration setup, or actually the suction design for that, was just terrible. I don't know what Hoover was thinking by making a direct air machine with this bagless system. The bypass design was a much better idea. Well, I hope you enjoyed this whole house cleaning video of the Hoover Bagless twin chamber wind tunnel. Sure and stay tuned. Don't forget to like, rate, comment, and subscribe while you have it. Thanks for watching, and we will see you next time.